Hello, and I'm in the Zoom room here with Jennifer Winfield, and Jennifer is a Northern Rivers intuition expert, deep listener. She has a set of oracle cards that she's been developing, and so she's going to talk a little bit about intuition this morning and how important that is for creativity. So welcome, Jennifer.
Thank you so much, Heather. This is such a passionate subject of mine, because I think as women, we've got really good at not listening to our intuition. I mean, even as much as, when we've had children, for many of us, when we become mothers, the simple, thing of needing to go to the loo, but we've got, 500 other things that we need to attend to. That very simplistic, intuitive, bodily response gets overridden because we've got other things to do. And then there's just, layers upon layers upon layers of us not listening to our intuition because we don't want to stand out. We don't want to be different, thinking differently to everybody else. We just want to fit in. And so we've had many, many lessons of not listening to our intuition. But when it comes to creating art and something that's uniquely about us, that's when we need to start to tune into it, because that's when we begin to express our particular unique essence. And unless we're listening to it, we're going to sound like everybody else out there. Our art's going to look like everybody else's out there. And so I'm just going to share a very quick story about what I've just been working on, as Heather may have mentioned. I've just recently created my own oracle card deck. It's still in the kind of the final development, but oracle cards are historically, they're either the tarot or, they're divination cards from a particular theme. It might be angels, it might be gods, it might be nature, whatever. I decided to do something very different. It became very clear that my intuition wanted to do something around lived experience. Very different. You don't normally find oracle cards like that. And so my oracle cards, which I'll just very briefly show you a few, they're actually stories that I've lived through. So this is me learning to sail in New York when I lived in New York. This is me sort of on New York Harbor. That's the Hudson River where, Scully landed that plane. And those are the Twin Towers, which shows you how long ago that actually happened. I've got, this is me up in Aurukun when I did some work up there in a community. These are all very, very different. But in each of those situations, I learned something about myself. And I want to share the wisdom that I gained from being in that story, so that it helps people reflect on their own stories and the opportunities for us to mine gems of wisdom from our own experience, to reflect and go, yeah, that didn't work out quite as I wanted. How can I do it differently next time? And so I've really listened to my intuition. I'm doing something very different. It feels like a memoir of sorts, but it's something that there's a lot of excitement about because it is so uniquely different. And it's me allowing myself to go, yeah, there's an element of risk involved in this, but it feels really right. It's my voice. It's how I am. I'm very authentic. I share a lot of my own stories that I've gathered, through life. I'm very open and honest, always have been, because I want people to know that they're not alone in how they often can feel going through life. And so this is the deck that I'm birthing. And so in the class, I'm really going to be talking about how we get used to listening to our intuition, how we develop that muscle. And I'll take you through an experience which really helps you go, oh yeah, I can feel it. I can feel it. And once you've got that, how you can then create an image of what that looks like, which really helps your brain to start to kind of go, oh yes, okay, that's a part of me that I now know is there, that I can now trust. And you're really developing a trust relationship with it. And the more you trust it, the more it delivers. So I'm looking forward to certainly meeting you all when we do that class in October.
I've got to just bring the gallery view back up again. Yes, so that's what Jennifer's talking about. Is she's going to be our special guest artist at our very special VIP event that's on the 16th of October, and it's a registration, and I will share all the links to that today, in the chat. So thank you so much for joining us today, Jennifer, in Art From Your Heart, and sharing a bit about your story and why intuition is so important for creating. And looking forward to having you as our VIP guest on October the 16th. Bye for now.